Well, hello folks, and thanks for joining me. So today we're taking a look at this old Sanyo model number MGP9. Now it might not look much, but this particular model holds some fond memories for me. When I was a kid, this was my go-to stereo. This particular one actually is one I've just bought to replace it. It just arrived in the post literally about 10 minutes ago, so I wanted to share it with you. Sadly, I lost mine many years ago, but for a long time, this as a kid was the stereo that I had, and exactly in this color, the same make and model. So I was hunting through eBay trying to find the exact one, and this one's really quite distinctive. There's a definite kind of pattern to the lid, and mine was in red. And weirdly enough, there are a couple of models around. Obviously they're rare. This one's from the mid-80s, but it didn't have any headphones with it, but it doesn't work either. So I thought this would be just nice as an ornament, or perhaps great to get going again. Now, my particular one, as I say, was this model. It didn't have a radio, didn't have EQ or anything like that on it. And believe it or not, the upgraded models on eBay, I could have actually bought them cheaper, but this was the particular one I wanted because this was the exact one I had as a kid. So anyway, basically, it's been described as for parts or not working. It's in pretty good condition overall. There probably isn't that much to go wrong. As you can see, as a kid, we didn't have a lot of money. So this little thing literally had play, stop and fast forward. So yeah, if you wanted to listen to the other side, never mind the lack of auto reverse, you had to literally turn the tape over and press play and fast forward if you wanted to rewind it. So those were the days, huh? So also there's basically there's a volume part on the top there, which seems to move quite freely. Not the best quality in the world, I don't think. It's quite it's easy to move, and but that's okay. And headphone socket there. There's also a 4.5 volts DC jack. Tiny little bit of damage there on the plastic, but nothing too bad. But essentially, it doesn't work. I bought it on the basis that it didn't work at all. So I've taken a bit of a punt on it, and the reason being that the battery terminals are quite badly corroded. You can probably see the rust and corrosion on the springs, and inside there as well you can see. Plus also there's all this gunk that's leaked out of the batteries at some point on the ribbon. However, it shouldn't be the end of the world. As I say, no auto reverse, no graphic equalizers, no radio. It's really just a mechanical thing, and from what I can tell, the play, stop and fast forward buttons work. So I'm hoping we might be able to get it to work. Inside, the hinge lid works properly. That's exactly as I remember it as a kid. And if I just press play, the heads move into position okay. And I've got to say the pinch roller looks okay, and the capstan looks pretty clean. So with a bit of luck, we can get this going. So what I've done is I've got a 4.5 volts DC to try this out now. Genuinely haven't tried this yet. And this particular one, I'm just going to check, is a 4.5 volts, and that's a positive. That's a positive tip on there. So we'll put that in now and see if it'll work. Fingers crossed. Yes, oh yes. There she is. Stop, play, stop, and fast forward. So it seems like it's working. So I'm just going to go and find a tape off camera. 1 second. And I'm back. Trying to do this as sort of honestly and fairly as we can. So that's right. So the tape goes into there. This particular one could have anything on it. Dance classics apparently. Right, so that's in there, and I'm just going to connect this. I'll just move the camera so you can see, but I'm basically just going to try and play it through my auxiliary on the auxiliary socket there on the stereo. Sorry, just bear with me while I'm plugging that in. And if we set that to aux, right, fingers crossed, hey, here we go. Who heaven knows if or when this ever last worked. Marvellous. We don't want to get copyright strikes by using other people's music, so that's really fantastic news. Okay, good. So it's in good overall condition. We know it powers up and runs properly. I'll just try the fast forward. And it's probably not working to the best. Yep. But it sounds okay, apart from dodgy music. But good stuff, so that's a good start. So what we'll do now is we'll start to see if we can get it to run on batteries. So we'll take it apart, just see if we can clean the contacts first, and I'm hoping that it should just be that. As I say, it's a simple unit, so there shouldn't be too much with regard to circuit board damage or anything like that. So we'll crack it open and have a look. Okay, so let's get this open then. Excuse the drilling from the neighbours, they're having an extension built on their house at the moment. So we'll see if we can come over the camera here and open this up. And that screw seems a little bit loose. I think someone's probably been in here already, but we'll have a look. I'm not actually sure how this comes apart, so it shouldn't be too complicated. The screws are the same, so it looks like should just be 2 screws and then a clip. It might be that the actual yeah, I was going to say the plastic may have actually broken. It says the super glue job required. I think what's happened is it's corroded and rotted the plastic, so it might have stuck. So let me just come back and have a look at that in a second. So we're back. And being a wally, I've just noticed there's a screw in the middle of the battery compartment as well. So we'll get that out. But the other part was already 3/4 broken anyway, so that'll glue back in without any problem. That's fine. Okay, so here we go then. Here's the crux of it. Okay, well that's really good news actually, because the PCB is really clean. The belt there, yeah, is okay. That's working all right. But what's really nice about it is we did wonder. We hoped that we weren't going to do any damage to the PCB when the battery leaked, and by and large the connectors are so far off the PCB that it's not really affected it. There is, however, something going on with that trace there, so we'll look into that, make sure that's all okay. Might just need a clean, but yeah, I reckon if we can just clean these contacts up, we should be in business to run it off some batteries. So let's just give them a bit of a file. Now, I'll give these a proper clean at some point, but just going to try and get the face of the rust off so we can make a clean contact. And we're just going to keep doing this until we can see some clean metal to get a good contact with. Okay, so I've cleaned the contacts a little bit now. They're not perfect, but I can go back and do them later. The main thing was just to get the physical contact points. You can see that they're a lot brighter and cleaner now on the end of the spring and the other contact points there. Also, although they weren't really too bad, I've also just cleaned the ones on the inside of the battery compartment as well. So what we'll do is just put this cover on real quick. Okay, and we'll put some batteries in for the first time in a long time, literally years I would imagine. So we'll put these in to get the polarity right. So that's the first one in. Always a bit tricky to do this around the back of a camera, but that's that one. And then we'll get that ribbon doesn't want to know, so we'll just trap that in there for now. Right, okay, and 3, and with a bit of luck, let's see what happens. Nothing. Okay, not ideal, but that's half the fun. So, no. There we go, the battery just wasn't quite in properly because it wasn't screwed down on the back yet. But there you go, so that's that. Stop, fast forward. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll put the tape in and we'll put our classic tracks back in and hook her up and get the stereo back on. And it'll also give us a chance to check the volume potentiometer as well to see if that's crackling or not. So here we go then. That's it. And volume works to 0. And all the way up. Marvellous, good. So, yep, she's fast forwarding okay off the batteries. And play. Perfect, good stuff. So that's that. All that remains is to finish cleaning the contacts, put it back together, glue that little piece on the side that broke off earlier, and yeah, give her a good clean with some vinyl cleaner, and she'll be good as new. Fantastic job. So just before we put it back together properly, I've just given her a bit of a clean inside as well. Clean the head with some IPA. I've just got her hooked up again to the DC at the moment, and then yeah, just with the old the ear cleaner, or Q-tip as you guys call it overseas. I just had some IPA and I ran that over the capstan and over the pinch roller as well. So yeah, that's the cleaning done. So time for the final put together. So there she is, all done, all put back together. Had a nice clean. Really not in bad condition for a mid-1980s tape player. So she's all complete now, and let's just plug her in, just check she's working off the batteries. And press play, and volume up. And there she is. Fantastic. So yes, not a very great repair in terms of technical ability there, but something that goes often very wrong with a load of electrical appliances, and certainly personal stereos that you know, got put away in a cupboard one day because the batteries were flat, or maybe they just fell out of favour and sat in the back of the cupboard for years and the batteries have leaked. So please do take your batteries out if you're not using products for a little while. But I just wanted to share that with you. It's a very simple repair, but the first one in the series. And I hope you found it useful. So there you go and have some fun, go and restore some stuff of your own, go and dig your old stuff out the cupboard, and I'll see you next time. All the best for now, bye bye.